Thank you once again for tuning in to another episode of the Goodrich Chronicles. I am your host, Anthony Goodrich, and today we are going to discuss something that blew my mind, and hopefully you'll learn something from this, because I certainly did from the research that I did, about microplastics. Microplastics and nanoplastics. Have you heard of nanoplastics before? And how dangerous it can be over a period of time, and that there's pretty much nothing you can do to avoid it? It's crazy to me. And it all has to do with the everyday plastics that we all use, throw away, and out of sight, out of mind. But in reality, it's not out of sight, out of mind. It's out of sight, but it's affecting your mind. And what I mean is, by some of the research that has been done by different organizations throughout the country, I found one in particular that was very interesting, that they found microplastics in human testicles as well as man's best friend. Yeah. Microplastics in dog balls. Microplastic in man balls. Now, they also, meaning the researchers, have concluded that this may contribute to the decline of the sperm count. You think? And I also read that over a period of time, period of lifetime, on average 65 to 75 years, those who had their brains tested after they died found enough plastic in the brain that was equivalent to 3 to 5 credit cards. What? 3 to 5 credit cards of microplastics in your brain. That's crazy town. Crazy town. Now, these microplastics are being ingested in several different ways. Inhaling. Yep. Inhaling. That's where the nanoplastics come in at. Because we throw our things away, the bags, toys, anything of plastic breaks down. And a lot of the stuff is not even in the landfill. Breaks down to dust. And where does this dust go? Into the environment. You can't see it. You can't smell it. You can't taste it. But it's there. Crazy. Now, let's talk about the plastics in general as far as how they become microplastics. Now, you've all heard about the Great Pacific Dump, right? Where it's just miles and miles long of plastics floating in the ocean. For years, this has been going on. The sea life are eating the plastic. It breaks down into particles that get into their bodies. We, in turn, eat that fish or seafood, and it collects in our body. Crazy. Crazy. Now, microplastics and nanoplastics all derived from petroleum. And we all know that. Oil. Before it even become plastic. Which may bring pause to thought on why we have so many people doing so many stupid ass things around the world. Because their judgment may be clouded by microplastics. Now, scientists have also informed me that most of the plastic is accumulated in the brain. Yep. Most of the plastic accumulates in the brain, in the frontal part of the brain. That's the part of the brain that affects decision making, which goes back to my earlier comment as to why so many people are doing so many stupid ass things, because their judgment is clouded by plastics. Yeah, crazy. Now, what are we going to do about it? How can we avoid it? Well, how about stop living? Because it's everywhere. It is, don't take that, do not take that literal. I was just saying that it's pretty much impossible to avoid it. Unless you're living in a bubble or out in maybe the country somewhere and you just live completely off the grid and you use silicone packaging. Speaking of packaging, because I didn't realize that all these plastics, bags, right? All these plastics in general, but the bags in particular, you store your food items in and it leaches. Yeah, it leaches PE, right? Right into your food. You think you're storing your, to keep it from, going bad or bugs getting to it or whatever, but you are actually adding more microplastics to your body because of the chemicals in the bags leaching to the food. That just blows me away. And I also read that the main, well, I'm not going to say the main culprit, but a huge culprit are apples. Yeah, apples. The way they're stored and how long they're stored. Microplastics are prevalent from apples in human consumption. Now, you probably don't even think about this. I'm going to break this down for you. How about water bottles? We all talk about it. Sometimes we're like, oh, well, we're just going to drink and use the water bottles when it's convenient. We normally drink out of our Yeti, blah, 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 whatever. You get a little cooler and you drink from that. Whatever. But did you know that those plastic bottles, before you even get them, they've been sitting on the dock in the heat for months before the store even gets them? So yeah, when you buy it from the store, it's all nice and chill, and you thinking it's all gravy, when it ain't, because it's been sitting on the dock for months in the heat, leaching all the chemicals, the PE, that's inside the plastics. Yeah? It's not just water. Your Gatorades. They're not keeping that shit cold for you the whole time after they manufacture it. No, they are not. It's only cold in transportation and in storing at the and stocking at the store. So just be aware and just know that drinking from plastic could be potentially dangerous to your health. Now, when I told you that there were a decrease in testosterone and sperm count due to microplastics and nanoplastics, it makes you wonder, once those little spermy wormies get through to their destination, are they all intact? Is that little cell chemically imbalanced somehow, which in turn makes that little crumb snatcher soon to be have an altered brain of some sort? Decision making or physical, whatever. Just something to think about. And just something else to think about too, just because I think it's important. All of us that like to eat seafood, and not just the microplastics and the nanoplastics, what about the other pollutants in the ocean? Mainly because of all of the wars going on around the world. What do you think happens to the ammunitions, and the bombs, everything that they use that explodes and lands in the ocean? Just sitting there, no one's retrieving that shit. So it's leaching into the ocean. The fish have to live in it. We all know that these ammunitions are man-made, full of chemicals, lead-based, whatever else they may be in it, and it's in the ocean. It's not just one part of the world. So this water in the ocean travels all over the place, but we have so many bombs and missiles and submarines test firing. And that's just another thing. What about the ones they're just testing with in the ocean, that they're not even at war? You know? And we're consuming all this seafood from oceans around the world. That always tripped me out, to just think about how contaminated the ocean very well could be just from, ammunitions, just from bomb testing, from all the fighting for all the years that's been happening. Anyways, I thought that maybe you would find this interesting, that microplastics were found in the dog's balls and in a grown man, not a, but 100. Oh, here's the percentage of it. It's not just 1 out of 5 or 2 out of 3, whatever that case. It was 100% of all the men tested, 100% of all the dogs tested have microplastics in their testicles. Alive and some dead. So we're all walking around here with microplastics and nanoplastics in our system. And it makes you wonder why so many people are dying from cancer, but it can't be linked to anything specific. But yet we know it's there. Wow. Love to know what you think about all this. Just drop a number 1 if you think it's okay to have nanoplastics and, microplastics in your body. Drop a number 2 if you think that it's detrimental. I'm tapping 2 all day. So, but anyways, you all could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to spend some time with a brother like me. And for that, I will always be grateful.